Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing fantastic. My name is Marcello Kolax and I am the Managing Director at Clever Markets, the energy industry's only remote technical analysis desk that you can get with a subscription. I have just reached 5,000 connections on LinkedIn, and in order to celebrate that a little bit, for me it's a big milestone. I sent out a request to all of you and said I will do a Q&A. You can ask me anything, just so you can get me to know a little bit better. Okay, and you did not disappoint. I have a heap of questions from you, and we are going through them one after another. So it is a mixture of personal and technical analysis questions, and I thought I'll just do one technical question and one personal question, always switching it around. So strap in and let's get to know each other a little bit better. The first question is, what are the best technical analysis resources? So there's a lot out there. I would say Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets by Murphy, then Pring, Technical Analysis Explained, and Schwager, he did a book on commodities trading as well. I think these three are highly recommended. If you want to get a little bit more into the mindset of trading, then I recommend Market Wizards. This is also a very good book. But if you are just getting started, I would start with Murphy, Technical Analysis of the Financial Markets. I think that's an excellent resource. Then Pring is doing an excellent job as well, filling in some gaps. Schwager with his commodities trading book is a little bit more on the complex side, so I think it's a little bit more advanced. So these are the free resources that I can recommend. Other than that, of course, a little plug here, there is the Clever Markets Academy that is run, I think, 3 times a year right now. The next one is in May. So if you don't want to go through all these books and you just want to have everything summarized in a couple of weeks and implement your best practices, highly recommended that you give the Clever Markets Academy a try as well. Right, here we go with our first personal question. How old are you and how much do you lift? Okay, I was born in 1988, which makes me 36 this year. And how much do I lift? Well, I think some time ago I posted that it is my goal to be the most jacked technical analyst in the industry, and people haven't forgotten. I haven't maxed out for quite some time, but I think my averages are for the deadlift 155 kg, for the squat I think it's a low 120 kg, and bench just in the low 100 kgs. I don't track my progress all that much. I have moved over from Olympic weightlifting to bodybuilding, so there's less an emphasis on how much I weigh, how much I can lift essentially. But yeah, these were my numbers that I last tested a couple of years ago. So I don't know, maybe it's up, maybe it's down, but somewhere in that area. Someone asks if I know of any chatter groups or communities for Forex and gold trading. Well, I think the question comes because I do run a WhatsApp group where I post daily my technical analysis views on the TTF, and we have a weekly sentiment survey, and also that's where I post my weekly outlook video a day early. So if you're interested in my LinkedIn content but you're missing it sometimes and you still want your daily TTF fix, then yeah, send me a DM and I will add you to that WhatsApp group. I am sure that you will see some familiar faces there. There's around 450 members in that group, and they're all trading professionals and analysts. So yeah, let me know. Okay, so do I know of any FX or gold groups? Unfortunately, I don't. I'm very sorry about that. I know there's a lot out there, especially on Discord, but please be warned, you're not just swept away by these community groups that don't really have much of a professional background. Other than that, I'm not that involved in the FX community, so unfortunately I don't have an answer for you there. Next question. Was it scary to launch your own company? Well, not really, no. Clever Markets is fairly new. It was launched in September 2023. So at the time of recording, it's half a year old. And at the beginning, it was possibly the most important, or one of the most important turning points in my professional career. But I don't think it was scary because I know the product is good. I know the value of technical analysis in general, what value it can add to customers. I'm very much convinced of the product that Clever Markets is offering, so the daily guidance and the academy. And I have not been proven otherwise. So it is very popular. I have clients from all over the world, and they're mostly energy trading desks and analysts and portfolio managers and hedge funds and family offices, surprisingly, fleet optimizers, utilities, procurement departments. So everyone is moving over to technical analysis, or at least adding technical analysis to their original fundamental analysis, because markets have changed, and just the influx of all these like foreign or non-European interests in the European energy markets have changed the market forever. And I just want to make sure that nobody is left behind, to be honest. Next question. Could I offer a crash course in TradingView? If they pay me, yes. Otherwise, probably not. So TradingView is a very popular charting, technical analysis software. I used it privately some time ago. It's not that good for energy trading because they don't have much. They have the TTF, they have EUAs, but only until they're only always one day behind, and only the lowest granularity is the daily chart. So it's not very useful for active traders, but you can play around with that, and they have like FX data and gold and like anything, like everything else essentially. And they're pretty good with that otherwise. All right, now a personal question. How is life in Singapore? Pretty good. I've been here for 6 years, more than 6 years. And before that I was in London. I'm originally from Germany. So before that I was in Korea and in China. I lived all over the place. I left Germany when I was 18 or 19 years old. And since then I lived in Brighton, Preston, London, Seoul, Daegu, Guangzhou, Singapore. Yeah, that's it essentially. And each of these places have their own charm. They're all good for different things. They have like different stages in life. But now I'm running my own company. I'm about to get married as well this summer. So I feel like Singapore is a very stable country to be in. The time zone is amazing for Europe as well, because I get up before anyone else does to prepare the Clever Markets reports. And overall, like life is pretty easy here. To be completely honest, it feels a little bit like I'm cheating in life. It's like life on easy mode. Public transport works, and it's safe and clean, and all of that. And it's close to like other countries as well. So you can jet over to Japan or Korea or somewhere in Southeast Asia. Of course, that rarely happens. Same as probably anyone living in London. They're not going just for the weekend spontaneously to France or Berlin, right? So that just doesn't happen. So even though all the other nations are pretty close, you rarely, if ever, or at least I don't, go out for just a weekend to, I don't know, wherever, Philippines or something, yeah? Overall, life is pretty good here. All right, and here's another question. If my followers are mostly energy traders, or if I also have FX traders, I don't know, but looking at the big pie, I feel like almost 80 to 90% of the people I interact with on a regular basis, the people who are my connections on LinkedIn, or the people that I talk to, yeah, I think the majority is truly pure energy traders, and most of them European energy traders as well. I mean, not European energy traders globally, but they're all looking at Europe, trading European gas and power. So essentially FX interested traders that I talk to on a regular basis is just a very small handful actually. And I know who you are asking this, you are one of them. But overall it is mostly energy traders. And the next personal question, what is your workout routine? I've done a lot over the years. I've been lifting for, I don't know, since I was a student, so for more than 15 years, I believe. And I did not everything, but quite a few things. I started off with not knowing what to do in the gym at all, and later on I moved over to Olympic weightlifting. That was a lot of fun. I did that here in Singapore for a couple of years. I do have a shoulder injury, so I can't do a lot of overhead work. So I couldn't do a clean and jerk, only clean and deadlift. So I think it was more like powerlifting, I would describe it. And over the past couple of years, I moved over from strength and conditioning over to bodybuilding, which is more or less the same. The only difference is I don't squat and deadlift that much anymore, really. And do a little bit more accessory work as well. So accessory work means like the smaller muscles, not just the big ones like legs and chest and back and all that. All right, here is another question. How do you open a company in Singapore as a foreigner? All right, luckily, Singapore is probably the easiest country in the world to open a company, no matter who you are or where you're from. There is a lot of services out there that can essentially set up the company for you. And I have my tax accountants and my company secretaries and all the other shebang and lawyers and everything that you need. So there's services that essentially pool everything together for you, and everything is conveniently in one location. So I recommend that if you are ever interested in launching a company in Singapore, just make it easy, go through one of these big aggregate firms essentially that help you to set everything up. All right, and here is the next technical analysis question from someone who is asking whether they should only use 2 time frames, because right now they're using 3, and they think that it might complicate things and it's getting a little bit too messy, too many signals. So I think like time frames in general are like a really, really important aspect of technical analysis. And I would suggest to actually work with 3 time frames for the following reasons. Let's say you are, a swing trader, and you're just always like trying to get the broad swings in the markets, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like these bigger swings, right? Let's say your trading time frame there would be the daily chart. And from there, I would simply look at the higher level chart, which means weekly chart, and I would look at the weekly chart. And if the weekly chart is bullish, I would start looking for buying opportunities on the daily chart. And if the weekly chart is bearish, I would look for selling opportunities on the daily chart, or short selling opportunities. Now the question is, how do I know if we are bullish or bearish or in a sideways trend? Well, there's a lot of factors that we can look into. You can work with a moving average, or you can just look at trend lines. You can look at like higher highs and higher lows, or lower lows and lower highs. But there's truly a lot of things that you can look at to determine what the direction of the trend actually is. All of that is covered in the Clever Markets Academy, and also have a look for free at the Clever Markets YouTube channel. I feel I have talked about that previously, so you can just seek out. I think I did a full video on the ultimate guide to trend identification, so have a look there. There's all the stuff in there that you probably need. So now we know we identify the direction on the weekly chart. We then trade in that direction on the daily chart. And then we would possibly look at like the 4-hour chart, or maybe the 1-hour chart, for like the precise, for the minute entry. Because maybe we can see that we're in an uptrend and the market is bottoming out in a corrective move, yeah. So we can catch it on the hourly chart a little bit earlier. We can get in earlier and then take the whole leg. So I would suggest trading time frame, then one higher and one lower. One higher for the direction and one lower for the precise timing. All right, and the next question is about time and location spreads. And the question is how we can make use of technical analysis with time and location spreads. First of all, yes, we can. If you have one contract and the other contract, it does make sense to analyze them individually. So you get it like a direction, and this is how you then, of course, assess the spreads. So if you have identified that one trend, one of the markets is moving sideways and the other one is moving up, then you can say things like the spread is about to widen still. The good thing with technical analysis is it tells you when there is a point of no return. So you will be able to say, now the spreads are moving together again. And probably this was the widest they will have been for the next couple of weeks. And you can do that both with time spreads and location spreads as well. Just get the technical direction of both of them, have it confirmed, understand when it's just a correction or full-on trend reversal. And with that, you can trade your spreads. Another thing you can do is you can simply have the one market minus the other, right? So you get the difference, and then you simply do a technical analysis on the resulting line graph that you're getting. Of course, you're only using the closing price for that. The technical analysis you use with just the spreads themselves has to be a little more simple. So there's no volume analysis. Stochastic rarely works. So it's more about drawing trend lines, identifying trends, looking at the momentum and trend tools. But yeah, you can do a technical analysis directly on simply the spread itself. So once again, you can look at the two individual contracts and see where they might be going, or you can have a look at just the spread itself and do a simple technical analysis on them. And the last question is, how can I convince my team to start using technical analysis? You can't. You cannot convince people who don't want to be convinced. We can't help them by brute force, and we can't help anyone who doesn't want to be helped. Over the past decade, I've talked to thousands of traders, and what I feel is that there's a certain identity and ego and pride attached to being a technical trader or to being a fundamental trader. But in all honesty, we are not trying to be technical traders, right? We are not trying to be fundamental traders. We are trying to be good traders. And good traders make use of every resource available that can derive an edge. And the best traders that I know combine both. They use fundamental analysis to get the direction, and then they use technical analysis to get the precise trade direction, trade entry and exit, and also risk management. So essentially, they're using technical analysis in order to make the fundamental analysis more actionable. So if you start talking to them about technical analysis, some of them might be thinking it's a trade-off. So I do either the one or the other, but that's not true. Combine the two, make your fundamental analysis better, more actionable. You will trade better, I promise you. And it's more about that. I feel they're just not used to it. A learning curve, especially a steep learning curve, as it would be the case with technical analysis, is painful. And sometimes if the system isn't broken, there's often no need to change it. So I feel that probably your team's P&L has to deteriorate further, has to get worse before they're considering any new edge. And until they have reached the bottom of the barrel, probably they won't see the need to actually start using technical analysis. It's a shame not seeing a trader's full potential, but I guess that's the difference between an average trader and a great trader, right? But please, it shouldn't stop you from being your best trader or analyst that you can be. So please, by all means, start using technical analysis for trend identification, trade planning, and risk management, or to make your fundamental analysis a little bit more actionable. And by the way, I promise you that all these hardcore fundamental traders, they are already using technical analysis, because they're not just pulling their entry and exit levels out of thin air. They are often referencing like an old peak or round number or a trend line or something like that. Yeah, they're getting the numbers from somewhere, and it's usually from chart reading. And chart reading is already technical analysis. They just don't want to believe it. So I feel just sneakily incorporate best practices for technical analysis for chart reading, and then just take it one step at a time. Yeah. But overall, we can't convince anyone of anything. All right, that is it. Thank you very much for being with me. I feel this is a very exciting journey. Launching the own company and growing from 400 to over 5,000 connections on LinkedIn. For me personally, it's a big step. I'm incredibly grateful that you're all trusting me. Also, big thanks to the clients who are entrusting me with the daily technical analysis. And of course, also the Academy graduates or current Academy students who are also trusting me with furthering their technical analysis journey. You're all amazing. Maybe I will do this again when I reach 10,000 connections on LinkedIn. I'll do my next Q&A there. I hope you enjoyed that. Everyone, see you around and bye-bye.